All right, guys. So we're going to be going over context clues again today for our lesson. Now, I pre-wrote the notes. So if at any time throughout the video you need to pause it so you can write down the notes, go ahead and do that, okay? These notes need to be on a clean page in your reading journal, all right? I wrote these notes down, so you need to write them down as well. Okay, so we're talking about context clues some more, and we're going to talk more about the types of clues that authors give us in order to help us figure out the meanings of unknown words. Okay, so let's start with the first one. Well, first, actually, before that, you might want to set up your page like this, okay? The types of clues for context clues spell out the word ideas, okay? So, ideas. Go ahead and set up your page that way. All right, and let's take a look at the first one here, I. I stands for inference, okay? And inference is using the clues from the text and your own knowledge to make a guess. Now, inference, you make an inference on the meaning of an unknown word whenever there is no other type of clue for you to use. Okay, sometimes you just have to take your best guess and you just have to make an inference. So, inferencing is using clues from the text and your own knowledge to make a guess, okay, an educated guess. All right, so let's move on to D, definition. So, definition, this type of clue, the unknown word is usually defined in the sentence. So here's an example. The police thwarted or prevented the robbers' plans. Okay, so they kind of actually give us the definition of that word thwarted. All right, the word is defined in that sentence. The police thwarted or prevented the robbers' plans. So sometimes authors will give you definition clues to help you figure out the meaning. All right, so that's definition. Let's look at examples. Okay, this is another type of context clue that authors will give you sometimes in a sentence to help you figure out the meaning of a word. So examples are specific examples to provide clues about the UW means unknown word. I didn't have space to write it out. So let's look at this sentence. The decor included fancy lights, beautiful paintings, and unique furniture. So if decor is our unknown word and we don't know what that word means, in the sentence, fancy lights, beautiful paintings, and unique furniture, those are actual examples that can help us figure out the meaning of decor. What do you think decor might mean? Decor probably means to decorate, or the things that we use to decorate a house, a building, or a store. The decor included fancy lights, paintings, and unique furniture. Okay, so anything we use to decorate our homes could be called decor. All right, on to antonym. So an antonym is a word that means the opposite of another word. So sometimes authors will give you an antonym in the sentence to help you figure out the meaning of that unknown word. All right, so they're opposite of each other. So let's look at this sentence here. The vast mall could not even compare to the tiny store. Okay, so we have this word tiny, all right? So if we're looking for an antonym, a word that means the opposite of the other word, tiny, what do we think the word vast, this unknown word, what do we think that might mean if we're looking for the opposite meanings? So tiny, what's the opposite of tiny? Big, huge, endless, right? Those are all words that we could say that have opposite meanings from tiny. So let's try huge. The huge mall could not even compare to the tiny store. Good. All right. So vast, I think probably means like huge or big. All right. Good. So let's move on to synonym. All right. A synonym is a word that has a similar meaning to another word. All right. They're not the same exact word, but they do have similar meanings. The heat from the sun's rays were scorching. So if scorching is our unknown word, what can we use to help us figure out the meaning of the word scorching? Right? Is you have to look for a word in the sentence that might have a similar meaning to scorching. Right? If you focused on the word heat, you're correct. Heat and scorching have similar meanings. When something is scorching, it means it's very, very hot. It has to do with heat. Okay, so good. So the 5 different types of context clues that authors will give you is inferences, definition, examples, antonyms, and synonyms. All right, so now let's take a look at, or not take a look, let's take a look at some practice that we'll try, and we'll see these examples and we'll see how these clues work together. Okay? All right, so we need to drag the colored text boxes to the correct empty spot. Okay, so let's start with this first one in the box here. Unlike the soft purrs of domesticated kittens, jaguars and other big cats can be extremely hostile. So hostile is our unknown word. All right, we have to decide, did the author give us a definition clue, an example clue, an antonym clue, or a synonym? All right, so let's reread that sentence. Unlike the soft purrs of domesticated kittens, jaguars and other big cats can be extremely hostile. What do we think? Do we think there is a word in here that might mean the opposite of hostile? Okay, because think about jaguars and lions and tigers, right? Are they friendly? No, I don't think that would make sense if we said jaguars and other big cats can be extremely friendly. That doesn't make sense because they're wild. They're wild cats. So the top part where it talks about domesticated kittens, they're talking about the kittens that we keep as pets. When they're domesticated, that means they're tamed. They're kind of friendly. So do you think domesticated and hostile might mean the same? No, I don't think so. I have a feeling they mean the opposite. Domesticated means tame, but jaguars and other big cats aren't tame. They're wild. So hostile must be the opposite of domesticated. So use your notes. What did we say? What word or what clue is the opposite of another word? Hopefully you went back and looked, and you should have chosen antonym. An antonym is an opposite of a word. All right? Good. The next box. If the scribbles on the page were supposed to look like words, they were illegible. So, in this example, are there any kind of clues that we have to work with that will help us figure out what the word illegible means? And I'm talking about the clues as in, does the author give us a definition? Does the author give us an example? Or does the author give us a synonym? No, I don't think he does. So if the author doesn't give us any of those other things, the only possible thing we can do is to make an inference, all right? To make an educated guess. Okay, the third one. The western coast of Florida, the part of the land near the ocean, is known for having some of the world's most beautiful beaches. So our unknown word here is coast. All right, so we have to try to figure out the meaning of the word coast. But do you notice how in this sentence it says the western coast of Florida, comma, the part of the land near the ocean, comma, is known for having some of the world's most beautiful beaches. Does that sound like maybe it's giving you a definition? The part of the land near the ocean? Could that be the meaning for the word coast? When you think of the coast is like near the beach. So does that make sense that the coast could be the part of the land near the ocean? Yes, it could. So actually, the author is giving us a definition here for the word coast. All right, the coast is the part of the land near the ocean. Good. All right, let's go to the next one. Outside the store, dozens of vehicles, such as cars, trucks, and vans, are parked waiting for their owners to return. Okay, so our unknown word here is vehicles. Well, we only have example and synonym left. All right, what do we think? Do we think this part here where it says such as cars, trucks, and vans, those 3 words, cars, trucks, and vans, do you think those are examples, or would those be synonyms to the word vehicle? What do you think? Cars, trucks, and vans. If you said examples, you are correct. A vehicle is anything that helps us get around, or things that we use to get around. Cars, we use them to take us to school. Trucks, vans, bicycles, skateboards, anything like that, that's a vehicle. So it seems that the author is giving us examples of vehicles to help us figure out what that word means. All right? So then our last one, Corey, please demonstrate or show to the class how to solve this math problem. All right? So, well, this one's kind of easy because the only one we have left is synonym. But synonym means two words that are similar, or they have the same or similar meaning. All right? So would it make sense that demonstrate might mean to show? Yes, it does, because the teacher is asking Corey to show the class how to solve the math problem, to demonstrate it. Right? Good. So the author gave us a synonym to use as a clue. Awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at your assignment for today. All right, now your assignment for today is these two slides, right? And it's using your context clues. So at the top of this slide, the yellow and the blue box are giving you the definition for the type of clues that we've already talked about, right? So for antonym and then for definition. Okay, what you need to do, let me zoom in here, or actually, I'll leave it like that. I think I'm zoomed in. If I zoom in more, it'll be too much. Yep. Okay, so what you're going to do is with these 4 questions on this slide, you first need to read the sentence. So looking at sentence 1, compared to her last tiny house, her new house seems massive. So the underlined word is the word they want you to figure out the meaning of. So they ask you, what is the meaning of massive? So in this box, you would type what you think the word massive means. Okay, and hopefully you're using your context clues. You're looking at that sentence and you're trying to see, are there any clues that I can use to help me figure out what massive might mean? Okay, so after you type in the meaning of the word massive, the second thing they ask you is which type of context clue was used, which type of clue. And so on this slide, it's kind of easy because they're only using the antonym clue or the definition clue. Okay, so you have to decide in that sentence, did they give you an antonym that helped you figure out the meaning of the word massive, or did they give you a definition of the word massive? All right, so whichever one you choose, you would drag that one over to that question there. Okay, just like that, just like how I showed you. All right, and you would do that for question 2, question 3, and question 4. Type in the meaning of the word, what you think it means, and then what type of context clue did they use? You would drag that over to the sentence. Okay, good. On slide 2, it's pretty much the same thing, except the 2 type of clues changes. Now it's synonym and then inference. So again, you would read the sentence, you would type in the meaning of the word, and you would drag the clue, whatever clue they used, to that question there. All right? Okay, guys, go ahead and get started. Try